Okay, I could not get my Zoom to work while I was doing this, so I will go through this and kind of point out the items here that we talked about in class. So one of the first things that is mentioned here is the fascia. So I would write down fibrous connective tissue. It is dense regular. This actually becomes synonymous with the tendon, okay? That would run and attach to the bone, okay, along that. So that would be the blue part. So I wrote fascia up here. My description would be if we went to Dollar General and we bought some pull and peel Twizzlers, this would be the plastic bag that they would put my item in, okay, the yellow plastic bag. Now, I kind of take this muscle as like a big bag of pull and peel Twizzlers. So the very outside of the bag would be our first part here of connective tissue, which is called the epimysium, okay? Epimysium right here. So that is this piece around the entire muscle. And then, and again, so you've got connective tissue, the fascia, which runs into the tendon, which becomes part of the periosteum of the bone, okay? Then you've got the epimysium, kind of like epidermis, okay? Down here, I'm also putting like the levels as I'm breaking it down farther and farther. Then we're going to divide up that muscle into compartments using another type of connective tissue called the perimysium, which would be the yellow part here. So imagine inside the pull and peel Twizzler bag that each of the pull and peels that you would normally eat, like one individual serving, actually had its own plastic wrapper around it. Like, you know how you can get a bag of like M&Ms, and each package of M&M is packaged separately for Halloween? That's kind of like the same concept. So this would be the perimysium, breaks this muscle into compartments, and those compartments are called fascicles, okay? That would be one pull and peel. Okay, now this is what the part that's really hard to understand. You take one pull and peel and imagine that each pull and peel, instead of pulling and peeling it, each pull and peel has its own wrapper, which would be totally annoying, right? That's the endomysium. That would be the blue part. Okay, so each individual peel has its own connective tissue. And that actually is a muscle fiber, aka a muscle cell. So every muscle cell of a muscle is actually has a layer of connective tissue surrounding it, which number one, keeps everything together. Number two, adds strength to it. It's kind of like, you know, picking up a steak or a piece of meat, if you think about like a chicken breast, right? A chicken breast doesn't fall apart, even if it doesn't have bone. It stays together. Well, it stays together because it's got all this connective tissue keeping it together. Now, the second part, which I will share this, and I also have copies of this for everybody. This is an entire muscle cell. So this is one individual, this whole thing is one individual pull and peel. This is one muscle cell. Remember that it's multinucleated because there's a nucleus and there's a nucleus. And there's a nucleus. So remember, this is skeletal muscle, so it can have lots of nuclei. One muscle cell surrounded by a membrane, which we call the sarcolemma. It's filled with cytoplasm, but we call it sarcoplasm. So we'll talk about all of this a little bit later, but I want you to notice all these things inside is your microfilaments or myofilaments. Remember that from chapter 3? That's your actin and myosin. So these guys are full. These take up a lot of space within one individual muscle cell, and these are what actually do the job of a muscle contraction. Okay, thanks, friends.